Renaissance man education here. So somebody put up in a comment on the video with my son doing his squats how bad his form was. Well, he's 13. Oh, and the coach needs to be fired. The coach needs to be fired. He's just coaching for attention. All right. Now, I did cut half of this, we started the conversation and then I stopped it because I wanted to get it on film. So here's the deal. How long I've been coaching you, son?
Since I was born.
Basically. You remember the first sport you played? Because you were probably too young to remember.
You showed me how to play basketball when I was 3, but the first sport I actually tried to play was soccer.
No, you didn't try to play.
Or the first sport I actually played.
You were good. You're too young to remember that day you beat a team by yourself.
I know. I remember that.
You do remember that?
Yeah.
Okay, because you got all your players were sick. And granted, yeah, it's 3-year-old, 4-year-old soccer, but okay, because I've instilled in you the value of never quitting and working your tail off and fighting to the very end, no matter what, win, lose, or draw. Correct? No fear whatsoever. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose, but you go out a certain way. You remember what happened when it was you against four other kids? You remember the first play of the game?
No, I remember one specific play where I just dribbled through the entire team.
Pretty much. They had you trapped in a corner.
No, they had me trapped in a circle around in the middle of like 4 or 5 of them.
That's when it started.
That was the start.
Yeah, the ball went to the corner. I still got it on an old iPad too. You kicked the ball between one of the guy's legs and you took it all the way up the field. And I was the only person, me and my ex-wife, your former stepmom, I was the only person yelling and screaming in the at the soccer field, and everybody's just looking at you and me like, all right, dude, shut up. We don't like that. Because you did something that nobody expected. And at that point you broke the hearts and you broke the will of those other kids. And I think you won like 4-1 or something like that. Anyhow, then you played T-ball, even though I had you hitting without a T since you were 4. I'm gonna let you see what you remember. What else? What else do you remember after T-ball? How early did you learn to box? Or start? The very basics.
I can hardly even remember that.
You don't remember?
I'm pretty sure that started when I was around 3 or 4.
It was. I got pictures of me and you in the park. The first thing I bought you was a reflex bag.
Gloves were twice my size.
They were. Let me see what else. I'm gonna drive back around the corner because you can't see for whatever reason. There we go. That's a little bit better light. All right. What else after boxing, son?
After boxing, it was BJJ, I believe.
So you jumped all the way from
I'm
boxing to Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu?
I'm thinking of that summer 2 years ago.
I didn't teach you Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. I took you to get training though.
Yeah. So boxing, soccer, did a little bit of basketball.
You did.
T-ball, track.
Okay. How'd you do in track, Alton? Who was your coach?
You.
Oh, okay. How'd you do in track, Alton?
For my 7-year-old mile, I got gold medal.
At the USA Track and Field Junior Olympics. What else?
I got a silver for, what was it?
That was at the regional meet.
Yeah, the regional.
You got gold at the Louisiana and Mississippi meet, and then you got silver. I think that was in Alabama or in Tennessee. I can't quite remember either. And then the next year,
then I got a bronze.
That was the next year, and that's when you started getting too big to your frame started to fill out. And the mile run wasn't for you, but you actually got 2 bronze and a silver that year. You remember what sport you did next? Okay, no worries. Remember we sent you to the University of Louisiana at Monroe baseball camp, and then you started. Well, we put you on that travel team, but the season got cut short. You remember that?
Yeah.
That's the year you learn how to swim too. So that year you were just learning skills. Then you started playing football after that. And I kind of you started doing boxing after that, but then your coaches at the boxing gym, you probably don't remember the conversation, but your coaches said, "Hey Dad, we get it. You've been coaching this guy since he was born. Okay, kudos to you, but you don't know boxing and mixed martial arts, Dad, so you gotta let us take it from here." Then I laid off, but for not entirely, son, but for the most part. So now what's happened is these past 2 years, I've been paying for him to go to a personal trainer. This summer we started going to camps. And I used to coach football and basketball and track and tennis. So it just got to the point where the personal trainer, he went up on his prices, and I just decided, okay, he's been mostly doing strength and conditioning. So I've been doing strength and conditioning since, I don't know how long. I've coached AAU basketball as well. I started in the AAU team for some kids who just basically needed one, and it turned into something else. And I'm sorry for the color going in and out for those of y'all who are watching. When I come closer to the lens, it moves in. What were you gonna say, dude?
Also, my form was worse because I'm used to lifting just the
Son, you 13.
No, I'm used to lifting just
Son, listen, you're 13.
I get that. The machine made it harder for me to get my form.
I understand, and that was did that correct your form?
Yeah.
Let me tell you why I went and videotaped that. And if you got a kid out there and you've helped your kid accomplish any type of goal, any dad out there, tell you, you're going to capture your kid's milestones on camera. You're 180 pounds almost? I was about 160 when I was going to the 9th grade. So I might have been, nah, son, I think your legs are stronger than what mine were. I think you're squatting more than I tried to, at least. I played basketball, so we weren't necessarily going for heavy weights per se. We were doing the super cat machine and plyometrics and stuff like that. But anyway, the point I'm making is this. It's almost, in a couple of years, it's going to be recruiting time. My young man wants to play football, so of course I'm going to capture his milestones. Is his form bad? Yeah, he's 13. Is he learning a lot at these camps that we've invested in? Yes. Is he shedding blocks well as a linebacker? Yeah. Is he firing off the line better? I'm pretty sure. I haven't been able to watch his practices with his teams, but I haven't videotaped all the drills, all of the footwork we're working on, all of the speed, the other strength and conditioning that we're doing. I just captured a milestone. But see, you can't fire me as the coach because I'm a dad first and a coach second. And I know there are men who watch this channel. If somehow you aren't able to be, I don't know why this thing keeps doing that. Yeah, I'm starting to get old. So what? When I move over here, it zooms in and it fixes the color. But you know more about that than me. Look, anyway, you can't fire me as my son's coach. It don't work that way. They're off this week because of the 4th of July, and he's got to stay in shape. But if I see my 13-year-old darn near finna squat over 200 pounds, I'm not going to go, stop, son. We're not going to capture this moment because your form is in. Shut up. Now, here's a coaching moment for you. That boxer, that's a 100% nice guy. You can talk all the trash on the internet you want, go ahead. But the point I'm trying to make is this. Number one, you young men out there, the theme here remains consistent. Put the work in. Me and my son, we have some, our little ups and downs. Sometimes he's like, God, I don't feel like working, Dad. Put the work in, number one. Two, If you're a father, put the work in with your kid. 3, you young men out there, here's the kicker. You're going to become a man one day. You put the work in with your kid. If you don't feel confident enough to do it yourself, or it's not your thing, ain't nothing wrong with paying for it. And we're not talking about just sports either. This can be whether it's computer coding, whether it's paying for your kid to study for the ACT, whether it's helping them study, period. Advice, whatever the case may be. See, I ain't just a coach on the football field. I'm my son's coach in life. So now, Dad ain't going nowhere. Won't be any coaches getting fired soon. If I could afford $100 an hour to get him trained by whoever, hey, I guess I would. But you know what? I work a regular job. We have a family business I run in the evening. There's only so many hours in the day, and I got other things to pay for other than just football. So I'm gonna get out there and I'm gonna coach my son. And if you don't like the form, and you don't like this, and you don't like that, okay, well, I guess you just don't like it then, now do you? And that's another thing, son. Here's the other point we were talking about before I went on that diatribe and told you about the, our background together as a father and son duo. Son, look, when y'all lose, because you can't win everything, you're going to have all types of people. Mainly folks who ain't never put on no helmet, put on no pads. They're not in the trenches with you. They're not in the weight room with you. And they're going to have everything to say. I would have did this. Or you wouldn't have did jack, because your little soft behind is on the sideline not playing. But of course, you the big bulked up football player. You got eyes on you everywhere. So you got to listen to that junk. Just like I suppose I don't have to listen to it on the internet, but I guess I'm a tone some stuff down. Oh man, me and my son had an incident the other day. I needed to talk to the other kid's father, but he wasn't available. But okay. But yeah, we're gonna tone it down. We're gonna be nice guys, buddy. Okay. Anyway, you take a loss, you're gonna have all these people talking about what you should have done and what they would have done and what they know and what you don't know. But when you win, matter of fact, I made a video about this called Parking Lot Preachers, Teachers, and Coaches. You know what that means, son? So you got coaches right now, right? They're gonna see you. Or you got people who don't play football. Man, you should have did this move. You should have did that move. They don't play football though. And they haven't coached anything. And they ain't put in no work with you. You should have said this. You should have done that in everything you do in life. But you got to ignore stuff like that. Here comes the rain. But here's the other thing. And that's with anything in life, son. You're always going to have people who have some type of critique of what it is you do. This is for everybody, not just you. So, if you worry about what everybody thinks and what everybody else wants and what everybody else approves of, you'll never get anything done. So you ignore that type of stuff. You keep on doing whatever it is you're doing because you're the one putting the work in. People don't know. And they don't care to know either what you have done, what you haven't done, what kind of work you're doing, what type of success you have. And if you do have some success, they're gonna still naysay anyway. Hey, I'm trying to do something.
Oh,
okay. I'll talk to you in just a moment. That's my mother. My son's grandmother. We're about to do some family stuff. But anyway, you can't worry about what people say because people are gonna say stuff the rest of your life. And there's millions of people on this planet. And when the people do all that talking, especially behind these computer screens, like I said, I'm old-fashioned. We ain't do no talking behind no computer screens. If it was sports, you didn't like what the other man, what another player was saying, you know what? I'll perform him and make him shut up. That's why I love track. Because ain't no disputes about track. Either you win or you didn't. That's why I like kickboxing. I did actual boxing later on in life, but as far as kickboxing and karate, I love to spar. I hear all that talking, and I prove it. But we're in the internet age now, where people can get on the internet and say this and say that, and okay, everybody's an expert. Everybody's the best at what they do, and you don't know anything, and so forth and so on. I'm sorry, I had my contacts in earlier, so I know my eyes look red and stuff like that. We've been sweating and stuff like that. But you can't worry about what people are saying, because 9 times out of 10, people who are doing all that talking, they don't even know what they're talking about. And it can get to you, but you have to remember, it's a lifelong journey. Most people can't or won't back up what they're saying anyway, and talk is cheap. Talk is so cheap that everybody can put 2 cents in. Well, what are those 2 cents really worth in your life? You're the one who has to live it. You got to put the work in, and you got to live with the results.